welcome to another Checiegirl Creations DIY video. So today I will be creating in my challenge art journal, and I previously uploaded a video asking you guys what kind of like art journaling videos you'd want to see. I'll link that in an iCard in the top right hand corner if you want to check that out. And the two top journals out of 4 was the fabric journal and this challenge journal. So I thought I would do a video on this one. And the whole part of the challenge journal is like each signature, which is like, so this is a signature, this is a signature, will be like I'll just only use one medium for each one. So this first signature was supposed to be pastels, and I started this like ages ago. I'll tell you when. In 2016, so just over just under 3 years really, should I say. And so this one was chalk pastels, this one was oils, and I really struggled with oils. And this one was chalk pastels, and I just didn't pick it up again really. So I'm thinking that I will carry that on, but I think I'll use oil pastels. And I shall link to the playlist where you can see how I made the whole journal. I have a couple of videos on how I made the cover and the signature and everything. Yeah, so I'll put this into fast forward mode and I'll have a voiceover so you know what I'm talking about. I'm going to do oils, and unlike the previous pages where I like used a photo for my inspiration, I'm just going to kind of play, especially since I'm using oil pastels. I think I might say maybe do a face or something, because I'm used to doing faces, and that just might be a little bit easier for me. And I think I'll remove the signature, because I made them so that I can remove them, just because it'll be a bit easier for me to work with since the cover isn't lying completely flat. And I'm just going to put this back on. I'm just using this greaseproof paper to stop the chalk pastel from rubbing off. So I'm just protecting the pages. So yeah, I'm going to do the oil pastels on this like 2 spread. I have a few that I'll just quickly go through before I put it into fast forward mode. This is from Tiger. This is a set. You can see all the colours there. This is from W.H. Smith. A few of these I didn't buy. Actually, I don't think I bought any of them. I think they've all just come from, like, I think my friend gave me this one and this set. I think this is oil pastels as well. And this is by the brand Ocaldo. Yeah, so I think she gave me these two. I believe I got this in like a birthday or Christmas present. And then I have this set from Sea White of Brighton. And this one has quite a few colours in it. And these are a bit smaller. So I have a whole bunch of different ones. I don't think it really matters if I use from the same brand really. It's just all, I think it's just as long as it's not oil pastel. So I shall put this into fast forward mode and I will get on with the video, and of course have a voiceover for you. Okay, so I'm just taking out my pastels, and I actually ended up only using the W.H. Smith ones. And those Ocaldo ones, I don't actually think they're oils. I mean, they seem more chalky, but I'm not too sure about them. They just seem a bit strange. So I didn't end up using those. And to start off with, I'm just going to use my pencil to sketch in the face. I tend to start with the features, so eyes, nose, lips, and then do the shape of the face. But if you're first starting off, I would say start with the shape of the face. And if you want me to do a video on how to draw a face, I'll happily do that. Just pop that down in the comments. Yeah, so I'm just quickly doing that. And then I can go in with the pastels. And starting off with, I'm going to do her eyes. I want her eyes to be blue, so I'm going in with that light blue and some dark blue around the edges to like add some initial shading. And then I'll go in with some black for the pupils. And then I'll use a brown to sketch in like her eyelids and nose and stuff. And I don't normally use black in my artwork, but I think black is quite important in oil pastels, especially when I was going through. I felt like I need to add more black than I normally do. So that was interesting. It's interesting to see how I have to work differently when it comes to different mediums. So I'm put in some red for her lips, and you can see I left some blank spots. And I would think that's like where the light would hit. And then I just blended that in with like a skin color pastel. And I'm putting in her eyebrows with that black. And now I'm going to add some red to her cheeks, so like blush, and I'll also go in with some brown to add some shading. I've imagined that the light is coming from the right, so I'm putting most of the shading on her left side and some like under her eye. And now I'm going to put in her hair. I'm using a light green and a dark green for her hair, and I'll go in with some purple at some point as well. So this page turned out extremely colorful. I'm pretty sure I used all the colors in the set. And yeah, so her hairs, I wanted it to be kind of wild and curly, so I just kind of scribbled and covered up most of the page with her hair. And I felt as if her face needed a little bit more shading and a bit more contrast between like the light and the dark, so I added some dark blue to the left side of her face where most of the shading would be. And I also went in with a little bit more brown. And you can see how I just added some purple in her hair. And now I'm going in and blending in her shading and everything with the like light skin color pastel. And what I like about the light pastels is I can use it for blending, and it also kind of shows up on the dark pastels, which is quite cool. And I felt as if I needed to go in with more dark blue. I felt as if her face wasn't popping out enough. So I went over the like her eyelids and her nose and around her lips with the dark blue as well. And that helped a little bit. It also helped me add a little bit more detail, but that just wasn't enough. So I went in with the black, and that's when I discovered that I need to use the black a little bit more. So I'm also using that to add some eyelids, and you can see everything's just coming together a bit more and looking a bit more grounded. Especially when I went around her eyes, they just kind of popped a lot more. So I also went around like the edge of her hair with the black as well, just to kind of ground everything. Sometimes adding like black around a border helps a bit. And I went over lightly around her hair. I didn't really want it to stand out too much because I wanted to add like a phrase. And I was just kind of practicing how I wanted to do that. My handwriting isn't the best, so I was mostly practicing how I wanted to do the capital B. So I just decided to do that like angular B. And I also made the I made the C in black, like kind of angular, and the U in beauty kind of angular as well, to just tie in a little bit with the B. And the red wasn't standing out enough, so first I'm going over with the dark blue. And as you can see, that still doesn't stand out very much, so I went in with the black as well. And that helped a lot more. It still wasn't really standing out how I wanted it to, so I went in with some white to see if I can maybe add some highlights that might help, but that just blended it really, didn't really help with that. So I did go over some areas on her face, like her eyes, and when you're using a lighter color to add highlights or to blend, kind of wipe it off on like a scrap piece of paper so that it doesn't smudge any other areas. So that's quite nice. It doesn't get like too badly contaminated. You could just rub it off on a piece of paper. And I went in with some yellow to make those letters pop, which helped a lot more. And I also added some more highlights to her face with the yellow. And I added some yellow around the hair, which helped a lot. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. I'm super impressed. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, and I surprised myself. So after this page, I definitely did another oil pastel, which you'll see soon. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And please click that bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video. And if you work with pastels, please do pop any tips below in the comments, or share if you are following this challenge with me as well. There's a hashtag below that you can put on your like Instagram post. You can tag me, join my Facebook group, and if you have any tips, please do share, because I'm very new to it and it'll just be lovely to see what you guys create. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you join me again for another arty video. Bye!